Welcome back. Once again, episode 2, part 3. Hopefully we could keep it just 3 parts. But thank you again. Things are kind of looking up. We got some good positive vibes. Luckily the last part, actually much of it was saved. You're going to see the majority of it, but we did leave off on something that was really important about the possible, from what my mom said at the time. She brings the stress, brings on the voice, because it's a little bit stressful when we were talking about the possibility that my ex was supposedly slowly poisoning me. I mean, I know. Let's jump right in, feet first to the deep end, right into the 8-foot end of the pool. So, because we're talking about a towel, a pattern towel, a towel that has been very special to me. As a reminder to everyone, hopefully you've been watching intently on the creation of the pattern of this towel. It's really looking up, it's really panning out. So these are the colors. Again, it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to pretty much try to finish this in one shot. So we're going to jump right in. So the next color will be the green. So we're going to put a green, and we're going to put another green. Then we're going to let those dry. Well, obviously, they're going to dry while we put on the finish, the little embellishments on these dry parts. So, as we do that, and you may notice some slight, I made some improvements in certain areas, got some better coverage in certain areas. So, now, and if you were here for parts 1, 2 of episode 2 of Novice Painting with the Novice Painter, Jimmy Novice, I'm Jimmy Novice, the Novice Painter. Let me just make one certain little check, and yes, hey, that stupid remote's working. I guess just had to dry out. So, we're gonna just get into this. Because we need this. We can get some good paint on there, and they're gonna scrape the edges. I've been learning many things along the way. It's a journey we're all on. Now let's do this. Let's get this towel done. See, now I thought I was only going to have room for 3 more stripes of the towel, but as luck would have it, we have room for freaking 4, so it's going to be 9 stripes, but you know, see, look at that. Getting globular, baby. So, I mean, it's good though, because see, I don't even know if you can see that. I didn't scrape the side, but see, we can cover that up with what we'll be doing on that blue. Gotta make sure the edge is sharp. There we go, see? See, if I can just keep it sharp and keep things straight. See, but there's this stray area that of the brush that likes to just interfere with our progress. It's really messing with the integrity of the lines we're trying to establish. We're trying to keep things, you know, as straight as possible, but it's a freaking towel. You said it 100 times. If I said it 100 times, I said it once, or said it once, I said it 100 times. So you're gonna kind of spread out these bristles. See, there we go. That's a little bit better. I'm using a better edge on the side. See, now that's what I imagined essentially the whole freaking time we've been doing this. Is that it would slide down. You know, basically just exactly what you're looking at. And that's, see, now I wish I would have done it on everything. It's kind of cool, little sort of texture line. But so it was just, you know, I thought my mom was overreacting. You know, this towel kept me absorbed the ounces of sweat that poured out of my skin. See, I'm using the wrong side, but again, these weird spots that are traveling into the blue, you'll see how that's gonna work out. You know, you kind of just plan ahead. You keep on going forward, people. You know, if you've seen episode 1, I don't even know if I said that. I'm pretty sure I said it. And see, that one almost got me. That's the one. See, now I'm gonna do it like this. We're gonna do a new technique here. There we go. See. Learn on the fly. Learn it on the fly, man. Learn it on the Spanish fly. I mean, whatever fly you want, you know, that's what you can learn on. And I just learned on the fly. It's a good movie, like the original one. Not the original, well, see, there was one in the 50s with Vincent Price where it was weird because it was like a dude literally turned into like a tiny little fly. He's like, help me. Yeah, that's sort of where I think that the whole idea of having sort of a chipmunk voice when you're tiny came into play. You know, they started that. But no, I'm talking about the one with Jeff Goldblum. That one's a banger. I was losing focus there thinking about that movie because it was so good. So my mom, anyway, she said, maybe she's poisoning you. And I was like, God, you've been watching too many forensic files. It's a freaking investigation discovery, man. It's bad. It's bad for your brain. Or you think everybody's like a serial killer or something, or in this case, a serial poisoner. But then I was thinking, I mean, she did all of a sudden decide she liked to cook. She never really was a big cooker. And then she started really getting into making the linguine and clams. And I mean, if anything, she was just trying to slowly poison me with undercooked clams. I mean, and what a clever way to do it. Who would ever suspect clams? But nonetheless, I saw that's absurd. You know, I chose to eat the linguine clams. I mean, they weren't freaking, there was nothing wrong with them. Maybe the noodles were a little al dente for my taste, but, you know, that's what love will do. You know, you'll eat crappy food. I mean, it was good. It was actually really good. I never really had clams before. But yeah, so it's just weird. I mean, I got this like weird stomach ache, and I was like sweating profusely, but I was freezing and I was hot. So, you know, and then, I mean, it definitely set the world record for the youngest person to get a colonoscopy, which turned up nothing. I was $3,000 down the drain. There we go. See, you know, it doesn't matter. Let's see. You see, like, oh, what is that? What is he trying to say with that? See, now you see me trying to get intricate. You know, but, you know, there's no advanced techniques here. This is novice painting, and
I've actually been doing quite a good job with this brush. It's moving a lot faster than I thought it would. Now we just gotta hope we have enough to do our other line. We should have plenty. Kind of going back to my episode 1 ways and being more liberal with my usage of the paints here. Alright, so now we gotta do a little flipper. I don't even know what is that. Is that dolphin? Alright, Peanut Butter, thank you for your help. You are one of a kind. Alright, so just gonna bring this up here. There you go. See, I'm being much more assured. Assured stock cologne. Is that a class? Something pops in my head for some 80s commercial. Preferred stock cologne. Sounds familiar. Alright, so now we're just gonna keep it like this. Thanks, Peanut Butter. You gonna hold it there, girl? This is Peanut Butter. For those of you maybe who didn't see previous segments or episode 1, the inaugural episode that covers the freaking logo of the show. How awesome is that? How often do you get to see stuff like that? So we're gonna dig right in to this right here. Now I forgot to mention that it's a different. We're doing kind of a different angle setup. In Spare Bones, we're chugging along, and things are just gonna, we're gonna kind of evolve with the times. With weekly, you'll see things improve. Maybe I'll get that lavalier mic. Who knows? But I'm trying to. My low back was really. I was doing a lot of squatting, and also this muscle on my neck. This one. I don't even know. I think it's a sternocleidomastoid. I'm doing this. It seems like it would be this one, but it's weird. I don't know. Muscles, man. What are you? They're crazy. Alright, so I figured this freaking brush out. It took me long enough, right? So, actually, see, we want to get. It's on this side, but we want to get on this side. It's a lot flatter. There's a lot of loose rogue bristles. You don't want rogue bristles, so that's, I think that's the name of the next Mission Impossible, rogue bristles. So, there we go, jumping right in. So we want to obviously make sure we have room, sort of a natural fit for 2 more lines in there. Preferred stock, or I don't even know what I was saying preferred stock for before. Let's kind of say like assured, rest assured, or my hand is more sure. Anyway, kind of rambling now. I didn't kind of Juan Valdez is wearing off. But it's good because my hand is much more steady. Look at that. What? It's like a booger in there. See that? That's the thing with these paints. Of course, dagnabbit. I thought I could just tap it, dab it, get it. There we go. Alright, so we scrape that off. Say goodbye to the booger, the paint booger. So, here we go. Alright. Yeah, we got that right. Gonna go back to there. Now, I wish I would have known about doing this before, but that's what's cool. That's what makes novice painting. You roll with the punches. You just keep going. And you let it lie where it lays. See? I mean, it's better that a good portion of it represents the vision in the head that came about rather than the entire thing. So, heck, that's what they always say, a D is passing. I mean, I don't know, maybe not in college. I don't know, it seems like that would be. But heck, an F, I mean, for how much you pay, an F it shouldn't be fail, it should be fine. It's fine. Heck, you paid $60,000. Just because you didn't pass every freaking single test and whatever. That's how it is. I mean, it's insane. Just gotta step back because sometimes you can't really see how even things are up close. So I'm gonna keep going with this one, with our bold lines. But yeah, swimming, man. I remember, I was talking about swimming, of course. I keep going on the wrong side, man. These yak hairs, man. I tell you, these yak hairs. I gotta get some mule hair. Don't ask me how I got it. I would get it, but I would do it somehow. See, now we're getting real globular now. We're getting real globular because now I'm more confident with the brush. I found a way to hold it gently. And be more assured. So I lost control there. Okay. There we go. Now it's like you don't want to go, it's weird. Like you don't want to go too slow, but you don't want to go too fast, right? I mean, I guess like it's kind of just, that's like a layman's philosophy or something, because it's pretty straightforward. But that's about the only way to sort of explain how a sort of freehand, sort of thick, vertical, bold cheek. Now I'm making a mistake. I'm getting carried away and not thinking about stuff, and I went over to the poopy side. Now what's incredible really though is I pretty much matched up. Actually, we did get some different shades of green, slightly different. So that's cool. I mean, I wasn't going for that. I was going for all the same shade of green. But, when you do another mix, sometimes it ain't the same as the first one. It's like when you do, like a chicken fajita recipe or something you found on Facebook. It's like, what did I forget? The cumin? Where's the cumins at? But yeah, so swimming, definitely a towel. That's for sure. And I remember going, oh man, I think I said it before, but it was, Mom hated taking me to the pool, but the best times were going to the water park. There's an old place called, it's old rustic for the water park. It's called Old Wet and Wild. Oh boy, will we get wet and wilds in there, man. We'd stay till sun up, till sundown. I don't even know what that was. It didn't look like a booger. We would say, now you think with how much this relaxes me and makes me happy that, you know, this, I'm beginning to think the voice thing isn't really stress induced. Maybe it just comes out from the pain, or like maybe I mean, it's non-toxic pain, so it's not like it's affecting me in that way or something. So it's really hard to tell. It's not like there's a medication for it, and I mean, that's ridiculous anyway. It's like, I mean, it's gotta be a natural way. We would go to Wet and Wild. Oh man, we would 12 hours day, crack of dawn. As soon as they open, I mean, they didn't open that early. I mean, that'd be like 5:36. Summer, I don't even know for sure what the solstice or whatever is like in summer. For sure, like when sunrise is. But so, alright, so, you know, flip it, rub it, smack it, rub it down. Peanut butter, come on, help. Oh, there, she got it. Okay, she got it. She got that side. Okay. Now you don't want it. There we go. So, alright, there we go. So we're just gonna go ahead and bring this down instead of going up. Last time we were going up. I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna down. And yours out around. The whole world's up. Alright, so. Yeah, I'm sure glad I changed the positioning of things. Much better on my back. But that's possibly not the best thing, because, you know, art it can be painful. You know, that's why it's got pain. Painter, it's got pain in the freaking title. What was I even doing? Oh, that's way too much. Now there was just this little speck up there. It's just the Dickens. I tell you, it's Charles Dickens up here. So I could just take, you know, I'm making this way harder. I got other brushes. There you go. I was trying to have a synchronicity with the brushes I'm using. So when this one dries, so we're gonna put that light blue. Actually, yeah, when this dries, we're gonna put this blue along here, and then we're gonna, let's see, we're gonna kind of try to overlap a little bit with the lighter blue, which is gonna be difficult. We'll probably end up putting on just a second layer. So we're putting on probably sort of a, definitely a lighter color over a darker color. That's tricky. That's one thing I know. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover these up real quick so they don't get too dry. And then I did it again. I forgot my rinsing cup. It's always something. It's always something. That's what my mom always said. It's always something. Dang, man, I have to go on the other side sometimes. Even this out. But yeah, I remember going to Wet and Wild, man, for 12 hours. It was just epic. The ground would be so hot. I didn't know anything about swimsuits or even just the idea of wearing socks. I was like, that's weird. Who wears socks swimming? So I'd be running. I always have to, have to time it right. So when someone would come out, like out of the lazy river thing, the thing that you travel around throughout the park, you have to follow their footsteps, boom, boom, boom. Their wet footsteps so your feet don't burn off. But it's still, at the end of the day, you end up having blisters on your feet. The wave pool, for some reason, it was like sanded. I mean, like, it was like paved in freaking gravel. Like, it's so painful. That's when I actually did invest in swimsuits. I was like, the wave pool got me to get swimsuits. I'm not even swimming necessarily in the wave pool. I'm just trying not to drown from all the freaking people who had the money to get an inner tube. It's like full of inner tubes. Like I want an inner tube. And finally, one time I got one, and it was like too much responsibility. It was annoying. I had to carry it around, make sure no one took it. It was ridiculous. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump in. We're gonna finally get to the city. We're gonna find mostly clean spot. I mean, this thing is it's a disaster. I mean, it's novice painting for you. So just white. We're just it's freaking white, man. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. That's the type of stuff happens around here. All right, so this is about as viscous. There we go, viscous as it gets. All right, so it has an interesting consistency when it gets dry. So here we go. Finally, this is going a lot longer than I thought, but I mean, such has been the show. So now I'm just trying to get an idea of how I'm going to attack this. Because we got to get a certain angle coming in. Okay. All right. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm gonna do. All right, no going back. This is it. Wait. This is it. Don't get scared now. This is a big commitment. Very bold. I can fill that in after. Now, see, obviously, it's like way more at the top than I wanted, but we're pretty much on the right path. But yeah, man, those days of Wet n Wild. Oh man. I never wanted to go in a male locker room after that, though, for quite some time. That's when I discovered that it seems like the older the men were, the less they cared about being completely nude in front of young boys. I mean, obviously they were used to it. With what they did in their day in school, but that can scar many children, many people, I mean in general, it doesn't even have to be a child. So hopefully you can see it's pretty good. Yes. See, look at that, see? Now that's why I get globular, because I'm like, you end up getting kind of like railroaded. You get sort of railroaded in a sense. But then in a way, it doesn't look too bad to see through. Because then it's more towel-like, I mean, it's, in my opinion. So, I just kind of want to make a bit of a connection. I gotta think about these angles. Now we're just completely freestyling, obviously. We're going from memory because the freaking towel's dirty. Cause you know who, but seriously, you knew that, and I knew that, so. Okay, so we're on a good path. So, I mean, it's basically gonna be on the same. Actually, it'd be better if it didn't meet in the middle. If it was alternated. But that's not the pattern of the towel. We're going for authenticity. We're going for an exact replica of this towel, but in painting form. So, I have a feeling this is actually going to end up being four parts. Just my instincts are telling me that these triangles are going to get a little wider, but who knows? They could be dry. I mean, like I said, these acrylics like to dry fast, so that's why I have to kind of work fast, because they start to dry. It's as simple as that. I'm sure there's probably a way. People about screaming in the whatever comment section there might be, if there is, whatever, but like, who is this guy? He's using all these tuners. Just add a little water to the acrylic paint. Well, what do you do about the freaking pudding skin on the paint? Okay? Tell me that, genius. See, I was thinking about that. I made a freaking smaller triangle than I wanted. I mean, obviously I'm not making triangle. I mean, I am, but it's like, it's all about the inner one. It's not about the line I'm making. It's about how much space is in between those lines. And I'm trying to, again, try and be straight, go straight, gotta be straight as possible. There we go. Alright, see? There you go. So we're on the right path. If I remember correctly, you guys are gonna see, that's why you need the lavalier mic. The lavalier mic. Sometimes I'm soft spoken. There we go. There we go. See, it's kind of like, I'm more assured on some of these where it's just like, that was a good spread. On some of these, I feel like I want to go back to and hope they're not too dry. See? It is. It is. It was it's too wet. There we go. So we can kind of sort of fix it now. I mean, again, sometimes getting globular is not the best approach. Because then you realize, oh, it looks kind of cooler the other way. Or this way, which is like a lighter approach, but then, you know, once you get globular, there's sort of no going back. See, again, I hesitated. Let's try it again. See, it was a little more assured. There we go. I can bring that in. Or even that out. Okay, so, alright, we're on the right path. This is very intricate though. For no other reason than it's the pattern of a towel, which would normally be in sort of created a textile mill. I think I saw a How's It Made episode one time where he made towels, but yeah, man, the water park. Keep going back to the water park. It's just probably every water park has been, one of every kid's favorite memories. Except I remember I went to this one in San Dimas. I thought it was going to be super cool because it was the same one that Napoleon Bonaparte. Well, that's a real Napoleon went to, but the one from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah, he had a lot of fun, but when my friend and I went there, it was, I don't know, lines were long. It was like Disneyland, but with just water slides. Like, there wasn't even Mickey Mouse or Space Mountain or anything. So it's like, why is it so, is it just because it's summer? I guess because it's summer, and it's freaking California. I was like, geez, this is what I never experienced that. Like, in Wet n Wild in Vegas, it was like, yeah, maybe 30 people at most in line to go down the Dirt Stuka. Which, you've probably heard that. I think it's kind of a familiar, popular use of a first slide name, maybe, I don't know. But regardless, it's understandable. Maybe that ride, that was a scary one, because that thing was, woohoo. That thing was high. That was higher than, we'll probably go with Snoop Dogg in that scenario. There we go. Okay, so also we were, for some reason, I don't know, we felt like we were gonna get shot by gangsters. There's a lot of, seems like the Raider sort of gear. I mean, they had Raider swimming trunks and towels. Like, they were wearing hats, and it was in the pool. There we go. So now we're gonna have to do some paint day squats or leg day, paint day, leg day, whatever you want to call it. We'll do a little bit more here because it's actually, we're gonna pull it up. There we go. It's easier in that position. Now, see, that's kind of the ideal cover, or that's the coverage I was kind of imagining. Sort of a LTE, 4G LTE coverage. So I got carried away with this one. Now, alright, see that white thing? See? That's where I messed up. I had white freaking paint on my ring finger. If you like to put a ring on it, not white paint on it. Now we're dropping things on the floor. So, Now with this, and actually these angles may cover right over it. I was gonna kind of, I don't think it's more like a string of paint and not necessarily. There you go. Boom. See? Bam. Booyaka, booyaka. 619 hey. Freeland stereo. So, there we go. Obviously, this is pretty detail intensive, so I think basically you get the gist. Basically get the gist. So, what we're most likely going to do okay, you know, that's not good. I really thought I was going to cover it. But really all we need to do is take maybe just a tiny bit of black and it wouldn't even be noticeable. So we'll just go ahead and finish these white parts out. Okay. There we go. Alright, so I think just one more. Actually, here we go. I'm gonna come in. Okay, so I think it stayed fairly consistent down the way. What do you think, peanut butter? Yeah, see? Yeah? She nodded her head. You heard it here first, folks, or seen it. Yes. Okay, there we go. So, start right here. Drag it down. Just drag it down, man. Just drag it down. Booyaka, booyaka. 6-1 frickin' 9. Alright. That's a little part of a song. Part of a song, I know. Booyaka, booyaka, 619. That's how it goes. I don't know what booyaka, booyaka means. I think it's just like, yeah, man. See? Yeah. Booyaka, booyaka. See? And then the area code, booyaka, booyaka, 702. Alright, so I just want to throw some blue peek in there. Okay. Okay, that's a little better. Alright, that's basically, yeah, so there you go. Obviously you can kind of get a pretty clear idea of what the pattern of this towel is going to be and what it will look like. I'm sure you can imagine. I really am confident that you can see finally at the end. Just want to step back and admire. We went, obviously these are going to be pretty epic episodes, the first two, but after that, see, this is what's cool. Episode 3 is going to be a repaint. We're going to take this painting, this Pier 1 import, possibly, could be a Pier 1 import, might be a Ross, I don't know, maybe TJ Maxx. All we know, we're not gonna mess with the integrity of this message whatsoever, but we're gonna add some fun colors. I mean, it makes me think of those like peanut butter candies, which were good. The orange and brownish black things with the wax paper that you get for Halloween. It kind of makes me think of that color. And I think we can really exemplify the theme happiness by doing a repaint of this. And tell an interesting story about how we came about acquiring this wonderful painting that gave us our beautiful theme for the show. So I want to thank you
for joining us. On the next episode, episode 3, it will be It's Buddha Baby repaint. And that's going to be another type. You know, we got stuff with writing, we got patterns, abstract stuff, and then we're going to have repaints. It's going to be really fun. So please join us for episode. Join me in peanut butter. At least for peanut butter. Do it for peanut butter. Join us for episode 3. It's Buddha Baby repaint of the happiness sign. And you'll get to see the finished version of the towel. And again, if the laundry room is cooperating, you'll get to see the towel. If I have to, you know what? If I have to, I will hand wash it. I will do it. So, again, remember, happiness is never lost from being shared. And we'll see you next time on Novice Painting with the Novice Painter, Jimmy Novice. I'm Jimmy Novice, the Novice Painter.